In the vast stretches of time where desert sands whisper ancient tales, some stories go beyond just time. They are not just old stories of things that happened, but like mirrors that show us our own lives, our struggles, and our deepest hopes. One of these stories, etched into people's minds, is about a young man named Joseph. His story starts like a fairy tale, bathed in the golden light of favor. He is the favorite son, a dreamer whose mind paints grand futures, a young man wrapped in a coat of many colors, a sign of being special and having a bright future. He walks in the innocence of his youth, not knowing the shadows his own light casts, the jealousies he stirs in the hearts of those who should love him the most. Because favor, no matter how bright, can be a dangerous flame. It attracts envy like the night attracts predators, and that's how Joseph's path takes a sharp turn. The warmth of his father's love is replaced by the coldness of betrayal. Trust is broken, and the dreamer is thrown into darkness. Before the palace, there will be the pit, a harsh lesson about how easily good fortune can be lost and how cruel people can be. Before his calling can bloom and save nations, there will be prison, years of silence, of being forgotten, where cold chains test the strength of his spirit and the firmness of his faith. Every challenge, every tear, every moment of sadness is not an end, but a step. This is a story of getting ready, a strong example that the greatest destinies are not given, but made strong in the fire of hard times. It's the story of how a broken heart can learn to forgive, how a trapped mind can stay free, and how the darkest dreams can come before the brightest morning. Join us on this journey, from favor to the pit, from prison to the palace, and find out how life's challenges can shape a hero. Joseph's story doesn't start in the shadow of betrayal, but in the bright light of his father's love. Jacob, also called Israel, loved Joseph more than all his other sons, because he was born to him when he was old. To show this special love, he gave him a gift that would seal his future, a beautiful coat, richly woven and brightly colored. It wasn't just a simple piece of clothing, it was a symbol, a clear sign of his father's favor. Every colorful thread seemed to shout Jacob's preference, stirring a silent fire of jealousy in his brothers' hearts. They saw Joseph, dressed in this splendor, not as a brother, but as a rival. To make things worse, Joseph had dreams about the future that he, in his youthful innocence, shared with his family. In the first dream, he saw his bundle of wheat standing straight in the field, while his brother's bundles bowed down to his. Soon after, a second, even bolder dream showed him the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing down to him. For his brothers, the message was too much to bear. "Are you really going to rule over us? Are you going to be our master?" they asked him, their hatred growing with every word. Even their father scolded him, though he kept these things in his heart, wondering what they truly meant. Jealousy had turned into a deep and active hatred. The chance for revenge came when Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers, who were tending the flocks far from home. Seeing him approach from a distance, their boiling hatred spilled over. "Here comes the dreamer," they said with scorn. Filled with bitter jealousy, they plotted against him. They attacked him, roughly tore off his coat, a symbol of everything they hated, and mercilessly threw him into an empty pit. While they sat down to eat, ignoring his pleas for help, a caravan of Ishmaelites appeared on the horizon. A new idea, colder and more calculating, formed in their minds. At Judah's suggestion, they pulled Joseph out of the pit and sold him for 20 pieces of silver. In an instant, Joseph went from beloved son to slave, his future destroyed by those who should have protected him. Sold by his own brothers, Joseph was taken to Egypt, a foreign land where he knew neither the language nor the customs. The young man, once loved and dressed in a special coat, was now just property, a slave. His world had fallen apart, but in the middle of this sadness, a light stayed on, his strong faith in God. He was bought by Potiphar, an important Egyptian official, captain of Pharaoh's guard. In this rich house, among a different culture, Joseph could have become bitter and rebellious. He could have cursed his fate and those who had betrayed him. But he chose a different path. As a slave, Joseph stayed true. He did every task, even the smallest, with great skill and honesty. The Lord was with him, and this divine presence wasn't just a comfort inside, it showed itself in real ways. Everything he did turned out well. The harvests were bigger, the animals healthier, the household business managed better. Potiphar, a practical and observant man, soon noticed that this young Hebrew's success was more than just skill. He saw the hand of a higher power at work. Potiphar's trust grew so much that he made Joseph in charge of his whole house. He gave him all his possessions, not worrying about anything except the food he ate. However, this high position drew dangerous attention. Potiphar's wife, attracted by Joseph's good looks and strong build, started to want him. Day after day, she asked him to do wrong with her, but Joseph firmly refused. His loyalty was not just to his earthly master Potiphar, but first and foremost to his God. "How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" he replied, showing the true foundation of his morals. One day, when the house was empty, she grabbed his clothes, insisting. In a desperate act to keep his honor, Joseph ran away, leaving his outer garment in her hands. Humiliated and angry at being turned down, she turned her desire into revenge. Holding the garment as false proof, she made up a lie. However, falsely accused of an assault he had fled from, he was thrown into prison based only on the word of the offended wife. His master's anger, who was once his helper, fell upon him. Without investigation, without a fair trial. The reward for his faithfulness was a dark, damp cell, from slavery to prison, confined again. There, he was once more at the bottom, stripped of his position, his good name, and his freedom. "You meant to harm me," Joseph said, "but God turned it into good. While you wait, you are not forgotten. God is preparing you before he crowns you. Trust him, because his timing is always perfect."